Hello, this is Erin with the Joy in Pens and Paper, and I am going to do a flip through of my 2021 Hobonichi Cousjn. This is the only year that I stayed in one book. So let's see how that worked out for me. I like decorating this little intro page. So this I guess 6 months on a page. I guess I'm blanking on what to call it, but I did a couple of things with it. I tracked my steps. I tracked some health habits, exercise, run, strength, and weight loss, and I kept up with that for most of the year. I stopped tracking some of the health habits towards the end. I did some highlighting color coding where if I got more than or equal to 10,000 steps in a day, I highlighted that gray, and if I got more than or equal to 12,500 in a day, I highlighted that blue. And then I had birthdays and just one event at the bottom. So that's my 2 6 months at a glance. Then I had my monthly. This one I had set up for the month of December. So I set this up in 2020 because I love setting up my new Hobonichi. But then I really love that I did this, and I think I'm going to end up bringing it back. I had for the rest of the year a word or a very short phrase for each day. And then I put these little bows on, I think, birthdays. But I actually really loved this. Just really nice to go back and look at. This is, I just want to pause here. This is a reason that I don't love sheening inks, because of things like this, where it smudges. It just takes forever to really set down, and quite frankly, smudging up here, I think smudging right here, if I were to have any type of clamminess to my hands and put my hand down and lift it up, it's going to come up with some of the ink. So I tend to shy away from sheening inks. Then we get into the weekly. So I started off the year, and I actually think I kept for the entirety, I believe the entirety of the year. When is this? July? Yeah. I tracked calories, distance. Nope, this kind of changed. So at the beginning I had ketones, mileage, how long I ran for, calories, and then my weight. And I had some little graphs here where I graphed out my ketones and my weight. I also started by doing some to-do list items on the side, and then I had some time-based to-do as well as some different events, and I had some decorations. I then moved the graphs to the side. Calories, run, minutes, ketones, weight stayed the same. I had this roll of washi stickers that I did some decorating with. I started to decrease using the side for tasks, but then I added in for my doctorate classes what assignments I needed to do. Occasionally I added in some highlighting. I started labeling those graphs. Some chunks of highlighting. The particular pen that I was using was an oil-based rollerball pen, and it doesn't hold up well over time. I also sporadically have these translucent tabs or post-its from Cloth and Paper. There is particular pens that you can write on these with. The I think it was a regular ballpoint pen or rollerball pen, you can write on it, but then otherwise it needed to be a oil-based felt tip pen and needed some drying time. I have some dot markers, so I did some dots with some to-do items, changed up some color. I think for March I used this greenish color. Oh no, I switched over to this mint color here. I have the foiled tape here. I just don't love, I tried cutting out some of the individual bows and using those, but I don't love that it gives that shine for the tape. It just, to me, feels really distracting. I have the due date stickers. Tried adding some washi. For me, this is very overwhelming. And we had a dog, which when I get into my dailies, you'll see that, but I started tracking her weight because our dog is, or we were told was, a German Shepherd Lab mix. So we anticipated like a 50, 60-ish pound dog. Girlfriend did not grow. So, yeah, I really tried seeing her growth patterns because I knew at around 6 months it would be her weight, you would double it, but she just did not grow. For a little bit of time I did this. I think this was when I was scheduling my lunch, maybe. Oh, you know what it was? This is when I was going home to let the dog out. So I made sure that I blocked off anything being scheduled. So that's when I was taking the dog out. Now, I think this is where I switch over to black ink. And I actually really like that I stuck with black. And I think for my work planner this year, I'm going to stick with black in that and then use all the fun colors in my personal or home planner. But I got a little bit more sparse in the summer with filling this out. That was a time where I was taking classes and just my schedule's different in the summer. Get back into the school year and I get a little bit more into my typical pattern. And this is very similar. I ran the Boston Marathon on Friday, October 8th. So I stopped connecting the dots, but I still was tracking and I still had my coursework off to the side. Some of these pages sound sticky because I was using these or these little circles to forward plan, and then when the week came I would pick up all the circles and write things down. I wasn't able to use these from Coffee Monsters Co. every day because they went beyond the column, so I used them every couple of days. Got that little New Year's Eve. Here's some more extra of those little stickers. I did put some resolutions here. One of them was to get my white Vanishing Point pen service. That's this one right here. So this was a 2021 planner. I ended up doing that in fall of 2022. Put some kind of carryover to do items, my Apple Watch challenge on this monthly page. And then for most of the year, what I did was I put to-do list tasks up here, my scheduled items here, notes down here, and then occasionally some kind of random stuff in the middle, which may have been things like a grocery list or some highlight things. I started out the year thinking I was going to be a little bit more sticker heavy, but that changes. At my job, I did a COVID-19 test every 2 weeks, I think it was. So occasionally I'll note that I was negative. I ended up staying negative until May of 2022. I was really into listening to a band called Royal Teeth at this point. I don't know why, but I was very, very into it. Some modules that I had to do. This is when I got my first vaccine. So I ended up taking a nice picture of myself with my Band-Aid. My friend and I, we went and did a walk around at a outdoor shopping mall. And it was the first time that we had gotten together in a while. So that was really nice. And my son had, might have been this, yeah. So my son's birthday, what we did is we had him pick one friend and we went to a local hotel and did an overnight. I was on call during this time and I actually had to take a call for work and happened to mention the call that, you know, it was my son's birthday and we were at the hotel, and that staff member tattled on me and tried to spin it that I was breaking organization policy. So when I went back to work Monday, I had to have a little sit down conversation, which was just silly. People are silly. My son turned 9, he got a bike. The monthly pulled in some to-do items, some wish list items. The Uni Jetstream 0.28 ink refills I got for the Hobonichi pen, or I wanted to get those for the Hobonichi pen. You can tell a little bit that it was an oil-based pen because it has this like residual line and some smudging right here because the oil seeps into the page. My friend got me a chocolate rose. A colleague got me a mug for being in the doctoral program. Some people that I know had an adoption go through, and so my friend and I went and met baby Rocky. Rocky's no longer a baby. This is a magnetic Post-it. So it sticks to the page, but it's not a forever stick. As you just saw, it moves. My son started looking into getting a dog and really wanted a Chinook. He came down late one night with a dog book and had this whole proposal for why he wanted a Chinook. And yeah, so I did start looking at getting Chinooks. That is a you can get purebred Chinooks, and it just would have been a whole process. My son at his friend's house, they were at that time wearing masks except for when they were eating, and in that picture they were eating. There's a bean card that's not yet full. Oh no, it is full. I have the redemption date, so I stuck it in here. Some notes from an interview, notes from a continuing education event that I went to. I registered for the virtual Boston Marathon. That was probably the best thing that came out of the pandemic, is that the Boston Marathon offered a virtual option. So my friend and I were able to do that. My son and I in the morning, this amazing Reese's peanut butter flan. I love flan. Purple gin, Oreo balls. That's something that I am known for, is these really amazing Oreo balls. Here's me studying. these were, so we then got serious about getting a dog, and these were the dogs that I was sent to choose from. And so we went with the black dog, and it says female puppy Labrador Retriever mix. We have found out that she has 1% Chihuahua and Pit Bull and Terrier. There's my son. The cat and my son are both on top of my husband, so I took a picture of that because that was funny. And this is the day that we got Marley Maxilla Conant. It was a surprise for my son, so we didn't even tell him where we were going or what. We just said we got to go run an errand, and we drove about 45 minutes away to pick up Marley, and she was just the tiniest little thing. And I definitely slowed down in things here because I was housebreaking the dog, so I was very focused on that. She had a 0 accident day. Here's all my coursework stuff. Oofda. Did you ever look back and think, how did I make it through that season? How could I handle doing everything? I went to a conference that was done remotely this day, and then a couple ladies and I went to a local drive-in, and we saw Clueless, and we brought some takeout, and we played some games. My son was joining me for runs around the neighborhood. I had a rip in the page right there, so I just used a piece of washi tape to patch it up. Another virtual conference that I went to. My friend told me that she got us Rabel tickets for my birthday, so it was the first concert I went to as the world was coming out of the pandemic. I was using a gray writing pen. I think it was a felt tip pen. We went to Vermont. So I had our packing list and our prep, and we listened to some podcasts on the way. I noted what we did for activities. And then I had to get back because the school that I worked at had a prom, so I had to get back to go to the prom, and then went out to dinner with a friend of mine, and then I had a couple more days off where I did kind of a staycation. This is when I found out that Topo Chico had seltzers. So excited. Trying to remember what black ink this is that it didn't quite set. I hope it's not the Noodler's Heart of Darkness, because I just inked up a pen with that. I had my residency week, which was it was the second residency week of the program, and it was an in-person residency week. Again, towards the end of the summer, I stopped putting as much information. We went to Delaware and went to Treetop Adventures. Oops, sorry, glare. And so there's a picture of the kids in their harnesses. My son and I. A friend of a friend scored some Red Sox tickets, so without very much notice, I joined for a Red Sox game, and we did one of those bike carts from where we parked to Fenway, and we just were silly. It was a silly day. Planning out my Hobonichi order, Apple Watch challenge, my son, his first day of 4th grade. I hate smudging. Sorry for the language. I will note this is not appropriate for children. My Hobonichi order arrived. There's a picture of Miss Marley. She's so small. Manyo, Sailor Manyo Haha ink. I got a new iPhone. So I've had my iPhone for just over 2 years. My final Boston training run. And then the day that my friend and I ran the virtual Boston Marathon. And you can see, from my perspective, when I look back on this, I was really excited about this. I likely had some anticipatory anxiety, which I think just a few pages ago, I saw a notation. It was a little longer ago than I thought, I guess. Where was it? Anxious. And then I finish the marathon and I get back into kind of my creative outlet. This was actually around this time I found out that I had celiac. So me getting a gluten-free pizza, that was the first time that I had eaten pizza in a really long time. I got my celebration jacket for the Boston Marathon and then immediately spilled butter on it and had to stain treat it because, you know, that's the hot mess that I am. And then as we get into, I ran on November 7th, I ran a 5K in 23 minutes and 13 seconds, which was awesome. And then on the 12th, I got into a car accident. On Wednesday, I went to my primary care and got placed out of work. So I declined medical treatment at the scene. Thought that I just was in shock and such, but nope, I was pretty concussed. So then I had some time at home. I won money, so we had purchased the Peloton. And our first snowfall. I went to Mohegan Sun and saw Pentatonics. They had a Christmas special. What I notice is since my accident, a lot of my handwriting, or I have these pockets of time that my handwriting is really yucky. More smudging. Don't love it. Don't love it. There we go. And that is my 2021 planner. 1 year in one book. And I love it. Love it, love it. Wish that I do that, I wish I did do that more often. But is what it is, right? All right, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one where I go over 2022. Bye.